Oh well, let's take a look then. Damn it, locked. An old bucket. Oh, I hope that isn't the toilet. That almost looks the same as the shredder in the museum. There's something lying in it. It's soft, damp, and cold. Yuck. An oil lamp. Doesn't seem all that old. Maybe it still works. Ah, that's better. I can see now. What the hell? A couple of luminous smiley stickers. Whoever lives here must be scared of the dark. Damn, don't say somebody lives here. Another door. Let's see now. Was kinda obvious. There's storage behind it for logs. It stretches right to the door. There's no getting through here. A padlock of the really sturdy variety. No thanks. I don't really want to know what's died in there. There's something lying under the bed, but I can't get at it. Gotcha. A cardboard box. Somebody scribbled something on the lid. I can't decipher it. The word definitely begins with an R, though. Let's take a look inside. A rag doll. Pretty ugly and worn out. I recognize it. I've seen it before. It was Ralph's. Yep, that's his doll. Mr. Bubby, or whatever he called it. Strange. How'd it get here? Why has Ralph left it? He never used to go anywhere without it. What else have we got? A luminous sticker with a smiley on it. and a cork from a bottle. This must be Ralph's shack, or his hideaway. One of those stickers that light up in the dark if you first expose them to enough light. I guess that this must be a pretty valuable item to Ralph. Still smells of wine a little. A ragdoll called Mr. Bubby, Ralph's best friend. The floorboards here sure creak loudly. I can't get out of here. There's only timber back there. A file. Huh. The escape tool of choice, in the comics at least. I'd need years for that. I reckon the lock would grind through the file instead of the other way around. The file is worn down. At the very most, you could file your fingernails with it. The file is worn down. At the very most, you could file your fingernails with it. I'm guessing that's paint thinners or gasoline for cleaning stuff. Ugh, smells something like that at least. A peculiar shadow. I think I know where that mysterious shadow's coming from. Well, how about that? And so the key falls into my possession. The rusty key from the lamp. An old tin can. The smell would suggest there's gas in it. fits. As I thought, full of junk. So let's have a look. Damn! That looks like one of the robes and the masks from the order that was after me. Huh. But at the same time, it's also proof that the order existed. I'll take it with me. There's some paper in the robe. Seems to be a letter to the order. Quite badly torn. Unable to stop the evil, already sacrificed. His objective, or something happens to me. No trace is to be... I'm not completely certain, but it appears to be a request to cover up all traces of the order. That would explain why the robe is in the shack. I'll put it back. Perhaps I'll find something useful after all. A corkscrew and a yardstick. They look in reasonable shape. I'll take them. Whoa, a chainsaw. I've got a feeling that this baby's gonna come in handy. The tank's just about half full. Hopefully that'll be enough. I filled up the chainsaw, but the tank's lid is missing. I don't think it's a good idea to start it up as it is. Alright, that ought to hold. Now we can get going. I can't cut my way through the whole wood storage with the little bit of gas I've got. I've got what I wanted. The rotten boards shouldn't be a problem for the saw, but I ought to check what's underneath them first. I won't be able to manage that. I'm gonna need a bigger tool. The file is worn down. At the very most, you could file your fingernails with it. What the? Looks as though the door's been bolted from the outside. But how can that be? Nothing more to see. not a good idea. If I destroy the door and then find out that the dogs are still out there, then I've got a problem. A folding ruler. 1 or 2 sections are missing, but it still must be at least 1.5 meters long. Huh. When the order dissolved itself, someone must have hidden their cowl here. Only question being, who? There's some paper in the robe. Seems to be a letter to the order. Quite badly torn. Unable to stop the evil, already sacrificed. His objective, or something happens to me. No trace is to be... I'm not completely certain, but it appears to be a request to cover up all traces of the order. That would explain why the robe is in the shack. I'll put it back. Interesting. There's at least 1/2 meter of space below the boards. The shack must have been built on stilts. The next time I'm being pursued by hellhounds and hide in a shack, I'll look out for that as I go in. I'll just cut myself a trapdoor in the floor. It can also be closed again in an emergency. Outside through the hole. Good. Let's try it. I'm better leaving the heavy junk here. Good. No wild beasts for miles. Weird. No tracks. The beasties couldn't have just disappeared into thin air. Oh, no!
Describe what you saw.
I saw myself as a child. I was playing with my sister in the woods. It's not far away from the castle. I could see it behind the trees. There was a man there, too.
Could you make out who it is?
No, he had his back to me. But something very bad has happened.
What's happened?
My sister, she's fallen in a hole. She's screaming. What should I do?
Adrian, you're not there anymore. Remember what you did at the time.
I ran to the hole, and I don't know. I can't remember. You woke me up before I could help her.
I didn't wake you up, Adrian. You woke up of your own accord. It would appear everything in you is trying to fend off this memory. Seems you really want to suppress it.
Or I just can't remember.
The memory is still there. You just need to let it happen.
It's easy for you to say.
Perhaps you should tackle this memory in a conscious state. Try and find the place in the woods that you saw. You need an anchor in the present.
If you say so.
And with regards to the hallucinations, I've ordered a medication. It should help to suppress them.
Very good. I'll take it. At least you can rely on conventional medicine.
Please take this prescription and give it to a buyer in the shop. She'll give you the medication.
Oh, she's a pharmacist too?
In a little village like this, everyone has more than one role.
Doctor?
How can I help you?
What can you tell me about Warm Hill?
Well, not a lot, really. It's a little hamlet that belongs to Willow Creek. There are only a few people living there. Most of the houses are falling apart. I think it's where all the miners used to live.
Something strange happened to me last night. I don't know what was real and what wasn't.
Tell me about it, Adrian.
I was just on my way back to the village when I was attacked by large black dogs in the woods. Fortunately, there was a shack close by, which I was able to hold up in. I couldn't get back out through the door. Once I cut my way outside through the floor with a chainsaw, there were no signs the dogs had been there at all. Then I fell unconscious. Supposedly, Murray found me there in the middle of the night and brought me back to the hotel. I can't remember any of that.
A classic dream of repression. The black dogs, and then... there's nothing there. It's a deep-seated fear of the consequences of your actions.
What do these black dogs mean? What kind of creatures are they?
Fleeing from vicious, aggressive dogs. That sounds like a typical nightmare. It expresses the fear of one's own aggressive side. Were the dogs alone, or was someone with them?
No, they were alone. Just the dogs.
Dogs who roam around without a human master suggests a suppressed issue with dominance. It could also suggest exactly the opposite, though. That the dreamer is neglecting a particular part of himself, which is alluded to by the nature of the dogs. What breed of dog were they?
No idea. Hellhounds? They were definitely huge and black.
Large dogs reinforce the meaning I was talking about. The fact that they're black would suggest their origin in the subconscious.
Are there any tablets I can take for this? I saw a woman dressed in white. Almost looked like some kind of wedding dress.
Where did you see her?
When I was locked in the shack, from the window, she was standing on the edge of the clearing. She saw me and then disappeared into the woods.
Did she say anything, or do anything?
Well, I didn't hear anything, but perhaps. She certainly wasn't just wandering around. It almost seemed as though she was looking for something.
Really? There's a legend here in Willow Creek about a white lady who wanders through the woods looking for her child. In vain, as the story goes, but no one has ever seen her.
Until now.
Don't worry, Adrian. That's a completely natural reaction to this myth. It originates from the collective longing for a pure mother figure who can be adored like a saint. Out of the whole thing that there are chosen ones who perceive her apparition. And everyone wants to be a chosen one. That's just human.
You've got an explanation for everything, haven't you?
Psychology is the modern theology.
Do you know Ralph?
Ralph? No. Who's that?
Oh, not so important. Catch you later.
Take care.
I wonder if the record of our discussions will end up in there. My head's still pounding. Lucky that Murray found me in the woods yesterday. I probably would have frozen otherwise. I should get this medication as soon as possible. And I could ask the inspector whether Murray's finally corrected his statement. And I've got an appointment with the priest, too. It can't be that difficult to find my father's grave. Oh, and I should find that ominous place in the woods. Enjoy it, Darren. It's gonna be a long day. Closed. Strange. The shop was still open this time yesterday. Hey Matt, so when you finally gonna get gone with your fun fan?
So, how are we then, eh? Still possessed by the devil?
I wouldn't joke about it if I were you.
That's supposed to be a threat.
Let's say more, well-meant recommendation.
You really have got a few screws loose.
So, what exactly did go wrong when you were born?
Not half as much as when you were born, Mr. Twisted Fire Starter.
Have fun.
Oi, arsehole! When you miss me, paint a heart on the wall.
Will do. In blood. How you doing?
Wonderfully. What can I do for you, sir?
Has the inspector been here yet today?
No, sir. I haven't seen him all day. I've just got here.
And Denise?
Denise has also disappeared.
Both of them not there, huh?
No.
I'd better be going.
Please, do us the honor again soon, sir.
Huh, there's Bobby, the village idiot. Well, no, that's being unfair. He's pretty much the nicest guy for miles around. Hey, Zach.
What do you want now?
Did I say something wrong?
No, I'm just a bit busy. The inspector hasn't been here all morning, and I have to do everything myself.
Abaya's shop is closed. Is today some kind of holiday that I don't know about?
No?
Where's the inspector?
Cafe, I think.
Or maybe you can help me. Has Murray been here about his statement?
Murray? Yes, he was here. Wanted to discuss something urgently with the inspector.
Do you know what it was about?
I can't tell you that.
By the way, I was in the woods last night and I got chased by some black dogs into a shack. I got locked in, but I managed to escape using a chainsaw. Then I fell unconscious.
You just can't help yourself, am I right? And why are you telling me this?
You look so bored. I'm sure you must have heard of the White Lady.
She's spooked around the woods for centuries. Why do you ask? Is she a relative of yours too?
Goodbye, Constable. No matter how big my problems are, if I walk through this door, they'll multiply drastically. Weird. Murray isn't there. A guest book. I'm definitely not writing my name in there. No one there. No one there.
Jones and Partners Chambers. Please leave your name and telephone number. We're in your corner.
My lawyer's business card. Would never have thought I'd need one of those. Murray's office is right behind this wall. church is closed, then I've got enough time to search in the woods for that place I've got in my memory, and I could pick up my medications from the shop. The shed is full to the roof with firewood. Looks like it's gonna be a long, cold winter. A long pair of lopping shears. I think I'll borrow them. Pile of firewood, I assume. Almost everyone here still heats with wood. It's covered by an old door, which protects it from the rain. And the door even has a round glass window. Nice greenhouse filled with all sorts of flowers. The priest seems to have green fingers. At least in the house. Mr. Gravedigger?
Yes, lad.
The church is closed. Didn't the priest say he'd be back again today?
He wanted to sit off after breakfast. Call back again later.
The graves by the wall, right at the back, they look different to the rest. Why's that?
That's where the poor devils who have no money for a real funeral are buried. And the lost souls, the murderers and suicides.
Aha. And they're just thrown in a hole and buried?
Well, they do get a coffin, but the corpse is put in it the wrong way round. Those who commit suicide, I mean.
Why?
It's supposed to stop the dead from finding their way out of the grave. They used to chop their heads off and put them between their legs to stop them running around. Pure superstition. As if you could stop the undead like that.
Have you ever heard about the White Lady in the woods?
Yes, I've heard about it, but I've never seen her. Apparently only those of pure heart can see her. That can't be true, though, because no one here in the village has seen her, not even the priest.
What does that tell us about the people of Willow Creek?
Nonsense. There's nothing wrong with the people here. It's that murderous clan in the castle who've been spreading fear and terror for centuries. It's a pity you didn't do your job right, boy. The castle should have burned down to its foundations. Then there'd finally be some peace around here.
It wasn't me. I'd better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled, lad.
It's called organic waste here. On the other side of the wall, the graveyard. Yes, even a Catholic priest is sometimes just human. Why hasn't he got a toilet in his house like everyone else? Hello? No one there. The priest lives here. Even too stony for a rock garden. Anonymous gravestones. 5 of them bear the same date. August 1981. As long as I don't know who might be buried here, there's not much point in looking for more clues. The church is closed. Then I've got enough time to search in the woods for that place I've got in my memory. And I could pick up my medications from the shop. This shack is even creepy during the day. Dragging tracks. Apparently, this is where Murray rescued me, but I can't remember a thing. I'm not at all interested in going back into that creepy shack. Fortunately, the shack is built on stilts. Otherwise, I'd probably still be trapped inside. Perhaps it used to be a lumberjack's cabin. Now it's Ralph's new hideout. Definitely better than the corrugated iron shed at the academy. Just don't touch, or everything will collapse. These are provisions for the winter, although I can't imagine that Ralph did this.